Hello and welcome to WDR TV and a happy new year from us as we've kind of staggered drunkenly, half dead, bemused, confused into 2021. Wow, so that was 2020 and what a year that was. It's about a year to the day that I stood in my kitchen talking to my beloved, where I stated, there's this strange virus happening in Wuhan. I think we might have a global pandemic situation. And her saying to me, don't be such a depressing git. And now here we are. So, recap time, 2020. Let's run through very quick things. So over 2020, unbelievably, I managed to produce 62 videos, of which probably 2 or 3 of them actually had some content of worthwhile viewing to you. 82 new subscribers. Well, that's something, I suppose, isn't it? There's more than the videos we did, so that's something. 826 hours of viewing was over the last year from people. People have watched 826 hours of me. That's like binge watching like a decent Netflix series or something a few times. Okay, well, sorry about that. So that's that for the channel. For personally, it's been a roller coaster. We've all been through it. January started shite for me. We lost Charlie, who was my beloved pooch of many years, 15 or so years. He sadly went past on us just the day after my birthday, actually, which was shit. However, we've gained a Baxter, which has been lovely. With the lockdown has been challenging, I'm sure, for everyone. It's been challenging for us. I mean, I've worked pretty much most of this year, and it's been interesting. Some ups and downs and some wild and crazy times. But yeah, family-wise, we've kept on cracking. We sadly lost Great Auntie Wendy this year, probably the family matriarch on the wife's side, and she was a formidably fantastic woman, not afraid of a rude word and a dirty joke, and I loved her dearly, and she even came to appreciate me, I felt. But yeah, sadly Wendy's gone, and she will be greatly missed, but the rest of the family's gathered together. I've not seen my parents since March, and I probably won't be seeing them again now until I don't know when. Granny reached 100. I haven't seen her for a year, but she's still ticking along, bless her. So we're all here. The key thing is everyone is pretty much still here. Where we are at the moment, the news makes depressing reading. Essentially, we have a new variant of the virus. The government are just about as ineffective as they were a year ago. We're a year in now. We're kind of come out to a year in now, and we're in a worse situation with the virus than we were a year ago. We have the vaccine. Lockdown is probably knocking on the door once Bojo finishes his cornflakes and finally acknowledges that he probably can't kill any more of us without us getting a bit disgruntled with it. So we might do something about that. I have a couple of weeks holiday booked soon. So that's timed that nicely for another lockdown, isn't it? Hopefully I'll get some content done during that period of time. But there we go. That's kind of a rough kind of rumble tumble through what we've been through. So played. What have we been playing? Not a lot. We've recently, as the Steam sale's been on and the Asmodee, a lot of Asmodee games are on sale, and I've already said I'm not a big fan of Tabletop Simulator. Can't get out of it. It's too fiddly. I kind of like custom built apps of board games. So we've been digging into Terraforming Mars, a game that we've enjoyed a lot in its physical way. The actual app is not bad. It's working. We're playing it private games group amongst the 4 of us, our Sunday group. Tony's won both games so far of it. We've picked up Prelude in the last player, but we've chucked that into the mix. It plays pretty solidly. It still runs long, not as long as maybe the tabletop version. I'm not sure. I'm really trying to Tony again. But yeah, that's not bad. It plays pretty much great. It is like it. I found that the table talk is a bit lacking when we're all just kind of sat dribbling at our desks. But we've been playing a lot of that. We're still playing a lot of Battlegrounds on Hearthstone. That's been a real popular choice, actually. And we've got both my Friday and Sunday groups. We're kind of playing that. And it's good. Cheap, free, and quite enjoyable. Been enjoying all of that. That, sadly, for games plays, really is it. Personally, I've been digging into these. I did a brief play on them of Aliens Another Day, Glorious Day in the Core. Set it up, had a little brief play on that. And I say brief, I didn't finish the first game, just to get a feel of it. And I quite kind of like what it's doing. I need to play obviously properly on it to see what it is, how it compares with a leading edge game, which I love. But if you're a fan of the Aliens franchise, I can definitely see you be there. I will say, yes, the miniatures were a pig to put together. I've done it. I primed them. I'm going to paint them, especially in the next couple of weeks coming up. But yes, I quite enjoy maybe what this is going to be doing. It's definitely something that might keep me entertained for a little while, and I'm probably going to need that. Then Dune Imperium, I also set up and I've played a solo of that, not completed a game of that because I've just been busy. But again, I really like what that's doing. It is part worker placement and deck builder with a bit of conflict in there. The solo game of that seems to be really good. I've not muted my phone, which is all the way over there. I'm going to ignore that. We'll just carry on. Yeah, Dune Imperium, worker placement with deck building. As I say, I've played 2 goes at the solo game. I've played about 2 or 3 rounds of each just to get a feel of it. Not completed them yet, but I really dig what it's doing. I like the feel of it. It seems to be capturing that Dune feel of that betrayal and warring and fighting over resources. That is looking to be probably something that I'm going to be quite enjoying. So there's that. News for Who Dares Rolls, what's going on at the moment. So I made I say difficult decision, but it is kind of, what I've done is I've pulled the plug on the podcast. I've been paying for podcast hosting since probably its inception about 5 or so years ago. It's not a massive amount every month, but it's been a bit, and it's been trickling away, and I'm not getting podcasts out. There is one that's banked somewhere from me and Charlie. Now what's going to happen is essentially I've pulled the plug on the thing that was distributing it on the website, so that's going to go dark on the website probably in the next couple of weeks, I guess. I need to look at maybe what I can do to fix that short term. The podcast is out there, definitely on iTunes, Stitcher and other bits. It's out there floating in the ether, so it's not gone anywhere, but there probably isn't going to be very many more of them at the moment. I need to rethink what we're going to do, because essentially I ain't got really time to do it. We haven't really produced many this year, and what is there to talk about? So, and I'm covering a lot of it on here. I will try and sort out with Charlie, maybe do something, or even if Charlie can add some video content maybe to this. I don't know, there's lots of things up in the air, but for a minute I've blown about 600 quid on this thing over the last 4 or 5 years, and it's 600 quid really that I can't afford to be blowing at the moment. So that's what we're at the moment. I've canned the podcast. It's there still if you want to find it in some capacity out there, and it was fun. It's been a ride. We managed about 60 odd episodes of it, of the same level of nonsense as this really. There was no really, but it has been a ride and fun, and there's definitely some joyful moments I can think of over the years of what we did with that. Especially the early ones when we were doing the Fighting Fantasy books, and I got to interview Rob Davio, and we did live shows. Yeah, there's been some good stuff in there, and you know, I don't regret any moment doing any of that. It's just that at the minute I need to focus my attentions and the wallet. So there we go. That's where we're at the moment with that. It's a pause for a thinker how we move forward from there. Christmas obviously came and went. As a family, we don't do a massive. We mainly make sure the kids get stuff. However, I did get a couple of presents. I got the Blake 7 Complete Series 1 to 4, which, as a child of the 70s, 80s, Blake 7, if you don't know, was a cheap, and I do say cheap, I've taken the boxes out because I'm watching it. Blake 7 was a cheap TV series, I mean really cheap. It was started, I think it's 78, 79, came out. Essentially the idea was, it was taking off the cuff of Star Wars, of the intergalactic kind of federation in the series, so like a very sort of empire-ish controlling of the human race and the galaxy at that point in time. A bunch of convicts essentially escape onto an alien ship. They're sent on board almost like canaries to test it out, and they take control of the ship, they escape, and then become these freedom fighters against this oppressive government. Very much Firefly kind of robbed bits of that. Firefly's kind of like the modern retelling a little bit of Blake 7. What I liked and adored about Blake 7 is a couple of things it did do very well was, number one, none of the characters were really great. They were all kind of bad guys. Blake himself was kind of this freedom fighter revolutionary, a little bit blinded what he was doing. Probably the favourite character was probably Avon, who was just a sardonic, sarcastic git, who would quite happily throw his own friends or his colleagues to the wolves in if it was going to revolve around saving his skin. If you can get past the shonky, cheap sets, there was some good writing in there. Some really great stuff. It's from Terry Nation, who was behind a lot of the early Doctor Who and creation of the Daleks and stuff. And the actual core idea is great. There's lots of really throwaway, great stories in there. This is kind of the days before where we had these season-long storylines. So there's odd episodes that throw out some fantastic ideas that are never revisited again. But overall, it's great. It's just wonderful. And another thing what it did very well, which was quite cool, was took Game of Thrones-y type feel, is that no one was really safe, and there was like main characters would be killed off every so often, and you sometimes didn't see it coming. So all that was kind of cool. It's lovely to revisit it. I'm looking at season 2 at the moment of it. Yes, if you ignore the shonkiness of it, the actual ideas, the core ideas and what it was doing, it's really good fun. Yeah, Blake 7. Really good. I'm enjoying that. And just as a nostalgic nod back to my childhood. I think every Sunday night used to be on, I remember tuning in happily to watch that. If you've not seen it, maybe worth hunting down, have a look at it. It's cheap, I will say that. Just stick with it. And then this, I received Ready Player 2. I read the original Ready Player 1. I really quite enjoyed it. I will acknowledge it's not the best written book. It's got issues in the first book. But for that nostalgic call back to my childhood and stuff, it hooked me in, and I did enjoy it. I've heard this isn't as great, and the first one got some slacking, but there were some issues. Not started reading it. It's there to dig into at some point. But yeah, people knew I'd enjoyed that, so I got that. We'll see how that is. We'll have a look at that. So there's that. I announced a giveaway before Christmas of some stuff. I've not had a lot of emails about that, actually. However, I have picked is Duncan Jarrett, who was one who did email me, and I need to drop him an email. Duncan, I haven't dropped you an email. I will. I've been busy. But yeah, there's a man you've had a tricky year, as we all have, and I won't go into it for you. But I appreciate your email. I will be emailing you back. I'll sort out the details, and I will get those goodies off to you. And do with as you wish. But Happy New Year to you, Duncan. I hope your year is better than last. Who knows? Looking ahead, what's got coming up? So I need to dish out the rest of the top 50. That's sat there. I've got a bunch of it half edited on that, so that will be coming out in a few more vids in the coming weeks, months. I'll try and get this all done probably before we get out of January. That's my intention. I'm also going to do a look back at my top 10 of 2019, because I did a video on that, so it'll be interesting to go back and see what's been played of that and what my feelings are in regards to that now a year later. And then there's a bunch of other stuff coming, and there's reviews. I mean, obviously, if I can get some solo plays of this, I might get reviews done of these just in a solo capacity, and maybe some other stuff. I don't know. We'll have a look at how this year pans out. I'm not too certain what we're going to do. I mean, I'll probably still try churning these out as we are, you know. Any ideas, anything you'd like to see from me, then let me know. Until then, stay absolutely as safe as humanly possible. Let's see how we do. It's 2021. It's still in its early birth pangs. There's still possibly the chance we can salvage it. As it is only January. Gonna keep some optimism. Let's see how we do. I think Easter's going to be the point of turn where we know where we're at. By Easter, if we've got a handle on stuff, we might actually be able to recover this year and almost maybe even sit down and play some ball games. That'd be great. Stay safe. Stay well. Keep watching. Let me know stuff. Just, communicate. This is a two-way thing. But for the time being, thanks for tuning in. I've been Mike B. This is Who Dares Worlds TV. Here we are in 2021. Here we go again. Peace out, brothers and sisters.